And in these difficult COVID times, mental health became one of the biggest concerns of workplaces. This topic will now be addressed by Maitri Kothari, Senior Program Manager at 𝗏𝗺𝗲𝗏. Let's take a look at the intersection of mental health and LGBT+ identities.
Hi everyone, I'm Maitri Kothari, one of the Senior Program Managers with 𝗏𝗺𝗏𝗏 Foundation. Hope you're enjoying the RISE 2021 conference so far and all these sessions that have been curated specially for you. I'm here to talk to you about the intersections of mental health and LGBTIQ+ identity in the Indian workplace. This report is brought to you by 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Foundation, Earth and Equal Workplace Advocates, and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Consulting. It's available for download under the Resources tab on the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 website, which is www.thepride-circle.com. So this is the report cover. And this report talks about everything that one needs to know about why we're talking about mental health at the workplace. So let's start with what is mental health, right? So mental health is something that everyone has, just like physical health, and refers specifically to a person's psychological and emotional well-being. It is determined by a range of socioeconomic, biological, and environmental factors. Mental wellness, or when we refer to the state of mental wellness, is something which is very similar to the definition of mental health. The only difference is that a person can also practice mental wellness, which would refer to the actions, behaviors, and habits that aim to achieve positive mental health. On the other hand, mental health disorders, which are also sometimes called mental illness, refers to a broad range of disorders with different symptoms. They are generally characterized by a condition which affects one's perception, mood, thinking, and/or behavior. Some examples of mental illnesses are anxiety disorder, clinical depression, bipolar disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, which is also known as PTSD, and more. So this report talks about what a healthy workplace looks like and why are we focusing on mental health, right? So according to the World Health Organization, 7.5% of the Indian population suffers from a mental disorder. So mental illnesses make up 1/6 of all health-related disorders in India. To add to this, there's a massive gap, which is over 70% in the amount of people who have a mental illness and those who actually get treatment for it. So coming to the intersectionality between mental health and LGBTIQ+ identity, a US-based research demonstrates that LGB people are twice as likely to live with a mental health disorder than the general population. Studies focused on the transgender community show that 2 out of 3 transgender teens experience depression, while nearly half of the surveyed transgender adults reported suicidal ideation as compared to 4% of the general population. Closer home, research in India says that the intersection of mental health and LGBTIQ+ individuals. So the LGBTIQ+ individuals had high rates of mental health concerns. According to the research, one of the primary drivers behind high rates of mental health concerns is the prevalence of stigma around LGBTIQ+ identities in India. In fact, in one of the profile studies, approximately 75% of the respondents felt that it was necessary to keep their identity hidden. So this research also highlights that the social support is one of the ways to help those impacted by the stigma towards the LGBTIQ+ community. And as such, it's important that workplaces have policies and action items that can support all of their employees and help them through difficult times. So in this document or report, we've also listed down some guidance or tips for managers which they can take to check in on their team members, and some case studies which you can read through. There's also the understanding of the practices which are already existing, and also the the explanation of the Employee Assistance Program or the EAP sector in India. These are again some tips which you can put in practice. Now coming specifically to the current ongoing pandemic. So these are some tips which are to enhance your self-care. Because of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, many of us are facing challenges and specific stressors as all of us adapt to the new style of working from home and cope with all that's going on around them and the anxiety that it brings. So it's very important to focus on your personal self-care as well. And this are just a few things that you can probably practice. So yeah, please do go through this and reach out to your friends or colleagues to seek help. Also, please do note that this is a report which is just to be used as a supplement and as an introduction to mental health conversations around the workplace. This isn't the be-all and end-all to it, and do not shy away from seeking professional help if you'd like. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the rest of the conference. The report is available for download under the resources tab on the 𝗬𝗺𝗲𝗃 website. So thank you.
Thank you, Maitri, for this wonderful session. With that, we have come to the end of day 1 of RISE 2021 Mainstay session.